All right, cool. Let's see. Hopefully that the sound works for this one. And that's issues lately, but hopefully after doing some adjustments, this will be fine. So I'll try and keep this prediction video pretty fairly sized, probably like 5 or 6 minutes. So anyway, going into this next chapter, we've got obviously a large focus on Asta. I think if it wasn't for the, the fact we're seeing like a lot of devil, like very important devil lore stuff, and then obviously Noct, as well as Libe, that it would get a little bit tiresome to have such a heavy focus on them. And boy, obviously, Asta's main character, he's the most popular character in the series. Like every time they do a poll, he always takes first. I think the only person that gets close to him is Yami. But I think everybody wants to see, what Yuno and Noelle are up to. But the next chapter, my biggest thing is Noct. We know Noct doesn't like Yami. We know there's a lot of mysteries around Noct. Why the hell does his grimoire not have an emblem on it? What's up with like Jack commenting about his magic? What's up with the fact that he's, the vice captain of Black Bulls, but he hates Yami? Why does he hate Yami? What's with this noble house that has a picture has like a family? I think everybody can like look, even in this one, look at that like picture of that kid. That's definitely Noct, or at least unless the theory that the two kids are twins, and it's like maybe the one is Noct and the other one's like his brother or something. And that's to me, I think the most likely, I almost said the most obvious conclusion, but I mean it's not as I think the most likely one, because when it comes to this, there has to be some form of really like aggressive twist over this for I think it to make sense, because again, Noct is a really weird position to even be part of the Black Bulls. Obviously, not liking Yami. We have all this stuff where he's got multiple devils. He's like been in the Spade Kingdom doing all this like super spec op kind of thing. Like he's got a lot of mystery behind him, essentially. I like that about Noct. So when we get to him, and like I said, the picture. Oh, I'm bumping my mic. The picture, I think, is going to be really, really vital to just kind of explaining who he is. And I like that it's one thing that the fans caught as like, a big kind of chin scratching panel, like a little bit of information, but it wasn't a big panel. Like it was a very small scene. Obviously it had its own panel, or something that you were supposed to look at. But I think that it was something that's very easily glossed over if you're not somebody looking for information. You're just kind of going with the motions, just trying to like figure out, well, okay, what's next? And you're not like stopping to look for clues and stuff that Tabata has laid out. And to me, I think the fact that one of the kids in the picture looks like Noct, and then obviously there's a second one who's dressed the same, looks to be about the same size. I think it being like a twin is probably the most likely case. And the fact that the picture has like this rip or smear in it, obviously is going to hold some significance. And at first I was like, well, maybe like, would he cover out the brother's face or sister, whatever, the sibling? I assume brother, like it could be anything, because obviously like when we first got Noct, like people weren't sure if Noct was female or not, because he's not like a very masculine looking guy. He's supposed to be more of kind of like a slick, like clean, very, very like nimble and just spooky looking guy. Like I felt like if he was kind of jacked like Yami, his kind of the very spooky aura he gives off, a very ominous vibe to him just kind of being there, wouldn't be as effective. I don't know, but I definitely like that. I think it works with the whole Bloodborne vibe of this form, because also see the other forms. But anyway, I think the one that's like smeared out is Noct. I think for some reason that he's gonna have to wipe out his own face, and it's gonna have to do with Yami, because we know that he hates Yami, and in the last chapter we know that he's like doesn't like the whole surpass your limits thing, because in the idea of it, it's not just the idea of getting stronger. Like whenever we really see the whole surpass your limits, it's like in the heat of battle when you need to kind of just do everything you can, keep fighting, stand up, go forward, and never give up kind of like idea, and then get stronger in the fight because of that. I'm guessing, and I feel like this is actually like a really likely thing is that the person, like, again, let's just assume brother. Let's just assume brother. I'm gonna stop trying to like teeter tatter around to the idea. Let's just assume it was Nox's brother that was originally the one that was in, that was close to Yami, and he got in a situation where it's like, oh, I'm fighting, character A and character B, opponents, and he had to get in like some, oh, I gotta surpass my limits. I gotta do what what Yami's like encouraged me to do and has like talked about, and then wasn't able to do it in time. And instead of retreating, they're just tried to kind of take a firm grasp on that mentality of, like I said, of Yami's whole like surpassing your limits thing, and it led to their death. Like, siblings is one thing, obviously. You have people are gonna come from two parents, and your DNA and like everything about you, it's these two halves forming a new person. The thing that's always really weird is, your siblings are like the only ones, assuming full blood. I don't see the going on a whole lot with this. Like, I'm kind of okay with, like, if we get like peer over to Yuno and Noelle, and then it's like 2 days later we come back and Asta and Noct are pretty much finished with their fighting, and they have, like, Asta has new techniques or stuff that we know he has, but he hasn't shown them yet, and then we kind of like gonna wait and see them first used whenever they fight the first devil that comes out of the gate. So it's still a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. Like, it's definitely longer than the first time. The first one was like 12 minutes. This one's only like, what, 7.5? But yeah, it's, in general, I think in the next chapter we're going to continue seeing the fight, Asta trying to, move forward, trying to unlock new powers with Libe. Him and Libe probably have some really nice duo moments together. But I think the thing that'll really kind of make these next couple chapters stand out, especially this next one, is just finding out more about Noct, because the last chapter we ended with Noct saying he hated the whole surpass your limits thing. So I feel like that has to come out soon. Like, we don't need to have 100% of Noct's backstory within the next like chapter or two, but I would like to get some clarification on that, like at least some hinting, like maybe a name for the brother, or maybe he's like, oh, it's because of that phrase that Yami utters that led to like the destruction of my family or something. Either way, comment below, tell me your thoughts about what's coming up next chapter. Noct's whole thing, again, a big mystery, and I feel like it's going to at least be given like crumbs within the next chapter, because I mean, otherwise, like, it's just gonna be their fight. We're gonna see some more cool Austin Lee based stuff, but while I believe the cool action and some like nice paneling is gonna happen for sure, some stuff to really talk about story wise and character wise is where my fingers are really crossed. And Noct, I think, has the most potential value to come up from both setup and people wanting to know more about him in general, since he's a character that's been like theory crafted and wondered about since like the beginning of the vice captain of the Black Bulls, and now we finally have him. We have all this devil stuff that he's tied to. Anyway, other than that, though, comment below, thumbs up the video, friend the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. Rather than that, I appreciate it. Subscribe. Thank you for listening. Bye.